what I will tell you today will blow your mind. This is very dangerous. So listen, because it is so dangerous. Parikshit, thoda light dim karna and add some Minority Report type futuristic music, something on the screen. Okay, good. I have unmasked anti-nationals. The story starts in February 2012 when this man co-founded Newslaundry. इसको side में रख देते हैं. Guys, I meant in post-production. Not now. I didn't need you now. So February Newslaundry is born, and then 1 month later, in 1907, this man was born. Let's just place both of them on the left because commies. But remember, guys, in February Newslaundry is founded, and this man is born 1 month after in March. सारा खेल March और February का है, even if 100 years apart. Remember, guys, I am also making this video in Feb. Now just look what they have in common. Yes, it's a mooch collective. He was called anti-national for challenging the government, and he was hanged. And as we and Subramaniam Swamy know, he is also called anti-national. स्वामी को साइड में राइट में करना.
राइट में जगह नहीं है, लेफ्ट में कर.
One troll, let's just call him Cringe Reveals, also want him hanged. Then in 2018, he hired one more mustache. In April 1564, one more guy with mooch was born. So folks, Feb, March, April and May, this guy is born in 1904. Just look at the pictures he draws. It's so scary. Looks like the face of dissent in India. One more thing happened in Feb. One more anti-national activity. You see this woman? She also co-founded News Minute in February. March, April, May, 3 months later, this guy is born. But just look at what he looks like in February this year. What do you see? The mooch collective. It's taking over. Folks, if I grow a mustache, you know who to blame. They and only they and all of them are responsible. But one thing is that George Soros doesn't have a mooch. It makes no sense. It never makes any sense. And it will never make any sense anyway. But share it anyway. Hello from Newslaundry
and The News Minute.
Now, over the past 1 week, a certain toolkit has made a lot of news. In fact, this toolkit has exploded on primetime like an exclusive.
Breaking news coming in, viewers. Big breaking news coming in. Here is what Greta Thunberg has been caught out doing.
This toolkit is now a subject of primetime debates and a police investigation. The toolkit also names certain news organizations like Quint, Scroll, Wire, Alt News and yours truly. To cut through the noise, we thought why not bring the best of the North
and the best of the South. Yeah, we are humble like that.
To present to you an idiot's guide on the toolkit, anti-nationals and a mystery Soros.
The word toolkit is being thrown around a lot ever since the Rihanna Greta international conspiracy theory broke. But what does it mean even? To understand what a toolkit is, you need to understand how activism and protests work. Number one, activism is a coordinated activity which involves vigorous campaigning to bring about a social or political change. The job of any and every activist is to educate, agitate and organize. Yes, those are the words of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, which capture the very essence of what activism means. But all this has to be within the realms of the law. All civilized democracies allow it in their constitution. Number two, protests involve a gigantic amount of people coming together to put pressure on governments across the globe. If a large section of people come together, it freaks political parties out because they're like, oh look, oh my God, all these unhappy voters on the streets. Ab kya karenge?
So both these things involve bringing people together to campaign. And thanks to technology, it's become easier to do it more efficiently and in an organized manner. Remember in September 2019, kids from across the globe came together to march against climate change? From Manila to London, Dhaka to New York, Sydney to New Delhi, students from all across the world came together to march against climate change. And this was a protest, a worldwide protest, which was organized with the help of the internet.
Even with the Black Lives Matter protest, toolkits were used. The UN uses toolkits. Well, every single protest in the world uses toolkits these days. So what does a toolkit actually do? It tells you how you can educate yourself, what you can learn about the issue at hand, how you can organize yourself, which protests you can attend on ground, what you can tweet about, what kind of social media campaigning you can do, etc., etc., etc. Toolkits are also used by NGOs to spread social awareness about an issue at hand. It can be about women's empowerment. It can be about a campaign that an animal rights activist is doing. They send images, sample tweets, decks like PowerPoint presentations to celebrities, influencers, people with a large following on social media and ask them to engage with the cause. This can be anything, right? This includes like a vaccination campaign, why you should get vaccinated. This includes Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. This includes Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. This also includes hashtag India Together or hashtag India Against Propaganda. All of these things use toolkits.
It really can be anything. Toolkits are used not just by activists but even the BJP IT cell. I mean, I guess they're also activists. Yeah. I mean, seriously, just see this story Newslaundry did where Kapil Mishra's group put out documents after documents every day, toolkits after toolkits about every issue to make and create a narrative in whatever way they want. So yeah, that was also a toolkit. Now, coming to the Greta toolkit. The fact that there was a toolkit is really nothing to scream about or even make a TV news debate of. Like we explained, it's really the most basic thing people on the internet do. Whether the contents of the toolkit are anti-national or seditious or just really everyday activism thingies is something for the courts to decide.
Now for the most controversial question. Why does the toolkit mention media organizations like Newslaundry? Because these news organizations report the news and are cited by many people. We are quoted by several people, including the Government of India. Like, for example, in the Supreme Court, the Government of India once cited a Newslaundry report to buttress its claims. That doesn't mean we are working for the government. It just means we're a credible news source that everyone likes to cite.
Newsflash. Guess who else is mentioned in the toolkit?
digipub is a collaborative initiative by many Indian digital media organizations. So we wanted to start something like this way back in 2018 itself, and the emails and the conversations about a foundation and organization started in 2018. But bringing so many people together, all those who have different ideas on how to work together, and remember all of us work in the news space, it takes time, right? So digipub was finally registered as a foundation only in August 2020. The idea behind digipub is simple. As the Indian government is thinking of more regulations in the digital media space on funding, content and registration, the founders of digipub, including the News Minute and Newslaundry, thought, why not come together to represent our voice? There is an association for the bigger digital media players, but they will never speak for us. No funds have been collected for digipub or via digipub, and we have not approached anyone for grants. In fact, we have not even collected the membership fee that all members agreed upon, simply because we don't have a bank account yet. Newspapers, broadcast televisions, why even Arnab Goswami and his friends have founded various collectives to address the concerns of the industry. digipub is one such collective.
Now, one of the most frequent forms of abuses that I get to see on my timeline goes something like this.
ए सोरस की बेटी
आ गई सोरोस की चमची ए सोरोस के टुकड़े में पलने वाली
George Soros உங்களுக்கு காசு கொடுக்கறாங்களா?
This man is the latest tool in the right-wing's toolkit to attack anyone or anything they don't like. The accusation is that this guy is funding us, Newslaundry and Newslaundry Minute, and we are all on his payrolls. A billionaire investor giving us money? We wish. But first, who is George Soros? George Soros is a Hungarian-born American billionaire investor. He's also a useful punching bag of the right wing across the world. His story starts in Hungary, where he survived the Nazi occupation, fled to England, studied in the London School of Economics. By 1960s, he was given US citizenship, and his organization, Open Society Foundations, had gained prominence for its pro-democracy investments. When I say pro-democracy, it means a lot of his work was taking down communist governments in Eastern Europe. Soros and his foundation supported groups and individuals seeking to bring down communism, including the Solidarity and Charter 77 movements in Poland and Czechoslovakia. The leaders of both groups would later lead their countries in the post-communist era. In Hungary, Soros distributed photocopiers to universities and libraries as a means to fight government censorship. He also paid dissidents to study in the West.
So to cut a long story short, Soros was treated as a bestie by Republicans in the US because he was taking on a common enemy, communism. The moment he started supporting election campaigns against the Bush administration for the Iraq war, he became a commie, of course. In the US, billionaires funding Republican or Democratic parties and election campaigns is totally normal. So, why is Soros hated so much? Because he's damn good at his job. In the words of the right-wing Vishwaguru, Soros is vilified because he is effective.
Soros has also been vocal against right-wing politics, and his Jewish identity makes him an easy target for right-wing hate and prejudice. He's hated by the right wing in his country of birth, Hungary, where the authoritarian PM Viktor Orban has accused Soros of hatching a secret plot to flood Hungary with migrants and destroy their nation. This is an accusation which has been denied by Soros. Fun fact, remember how Soros in his early days would fund dissidents to study in the West? Well, Orban benefited from one such scholarship. Yeah, this guy owes his education to Soros, even as he has turned him into a figure of hate through state-funded media. Of course, in India, the state has private sector doing its job. The Soros conspiracy today is really like a McDonald's chain, customized for every country. In the US, you get Trump ka beef burger, Soros funded the BLM protest. In India, you get Shuddh veg aloo tikki burger, Soros planned the farmers' protest. So, whenever a populist government finds itself in an inconvenient position, you have Soros to blame.
The good thing about the digital age is that everyone has access to information. The bad thing is that people believe anything that they see online. That can change if you apply your brain and think before you forward something. Next time someone tells you Soros funds Newslaundry, tell them, bhai, it's not true, but tum hi fund kar lo ab. Subscribe kar lo independent media ko and proudly say, pay to keep news free.
And if they suggest George Soros is funding the News Minute, well, if we had that kind of money, we would start the News Minute in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada. So instead of spending so much time on conspiracy theories, I request you to come and become a member of the News Minute and help our journalism. But on a serious note, George Soros is a huge investor and he has put money in a lot of things in India, from the big industries to small industries to foundations and even the media. So from your toothpaste to the clothes to wear to the paper you read, Soros' money could be anywhere.
It is very important to hold your media accountable. You should question journalists and question us about everything under the sun, including who funds us. Every organization, including the Newslaundry and News Minute, files returns, and you can get all the details about us and our company structure from publicly available data on the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website. It's really no secret and it's no conspiracy either. Remember, question your media, but question them with facts and knowledge on your side, not some cringe reveals type flop expose. Isko side mein rakh do.